Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. Happy Mother's Day. Our subject for today is selling and family, how to make it work for success. Say hey, Dom.
What's up, guys?
That's my awesome son. That's a pretty good question. You know, the topic was selling and family, how to make it work for success. You know, in reality, everybody has family members, and if you don't, big old hugs. And we have like issues, they're like tissues, and some days are going to be good days, some days are going to be bad days, just about the way you deal with it. I've been a father now for quite a few years now. I've been a single parent, raising my son by myself all these years, and I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, because I got a great kid, a great son, and he's awesome. And I ain't saying that I've not failed him and I've done some things wrong, because I have. That's just life in the big city. You do things, you do the best you can. And I didn't get no manual when I had my son. It's kind of crazy, but it's the truth. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything about sales. It's real important that we get this information. So here's what I'm going to talk about. When it comes to your family is concerned, your significant other, your children, your wife or your husband or whatever. When you're a salesperson, a lot of people depend on you, and we work mostly on straight commission. And so we really have to be on board and doing the best that we can do so we can be successful. And a lot of times when we have family members that are with us, they get to see us do good, bad, and they get to deal with the attitudes that we have. Sometimes as a salesperson, you may have a bad attitude. I ain't gonna say I ain't never had a bad attitude. Matter of fact, my son would probably say, "Damn, Daddy, you got a bad attitude." Because sometimes I do. I'm one of these kind of warriors. I'm a family guy that wants to make sure his kid's doing really, really good. And I want to make sure my family's happy. I'm fortunate. I love my family, my mom, and my dad, and all those people God puts in my life. I just want to wrap them up in big old hugs. But sometimes I let them down. And you probably do too. But that means we're human. We're not perfect. And I don't want to act like I am, because if I act like I'm real perfect, people might call me on my shit. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Sorry for the cussing. But you know what? In reality, it's important that we love our families to the best of our ability. And you got to tell them often, I love you. Dominic, my son, I love you. Do you hear me?
Love you too.
That's important, and we matter. Like I said, it's Mother's Day. I'm on the way to see my mother. I'm lucky I still have mine. And I'm very grateful to God, because God is really awesome. One of the things I've learned as far as making it work with a family, you got to deal with a lot of personalities, and not everybody is the same way you are. A lot of people, they're the opposite of you. My son is a musician. I'm not. I love to sing and everything. I used to be able to sing real good, but now I don't. So the reality is I enjoy watching my son perform, do his best, and become awesome at everything he does. I'm a family member. As far as my family is concerned, my mom always wanted me to be successful. So in this regard, I always try my best to do the best. And I ain't saying I ain't never failed, because I've failed. And it's not how far you fall, it's how far you bounce back, guys. And listen, intelligent people know that life is going to have problems. We're going to have issues. They're like tissues. And believe me, they will pop up when you least expect it. Okay, that's the seriousness behind this. And our subject for today is how to make family life work. When my son was real little and I was doing sales and stuff, I had to take particular type sales jobs because I wasn't able to work the evenings, because I had to take care of my kid. And I've had him by myself since he's about 6 months old. And when you're that little, you need your daddy. You need to have somebody there for you, and you got to make sure that you're there for your children, especially if you love them. A lot of times, people forget them. They take them for granted. And you know what? I do a lot of yelling. Unfortunately, I got to get my kid up at 5:30 in the morning. I got to make sure, he does the things he needs to do to become a successful person. And if we don't stay on top of our children, they'll fall through the cracks. I've seen it too many times. I look around and I see young children not getting the blessings of a parent, somebody who cared about them, and it ruined their life. I'm not a very loving person sometimes. Sometimes I can be what they call an asshole. I ain't gonna lie. But the key to success in selling is this. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. You know, loving your family doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. How are you going to love other people if you don't think highly of yourself? You may feel bad about yourself because you didn't sell something that day, but don't take it out on your kids, your family, because you know why? The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I've done that. I get frustrated. I get scared because sometimes as a having a family, you got bills to pay. You ain't just taking care of yourself. You're taking care of other people. And believe me, you don't want your children, your family, significant others to suffer. They want the best, and you got to help them get it. Now, when you're in sales, you know, we get a lot of people giving us objections, telling us why they can't buy it, they don't want it, whatever. But it's a numbers game. And when you're in sales, you got to figure out, well, what do I need to do to get the numbers to work? It's real simple. You got to study the art and crafts of selling. You've got to learn the basics. You got to use your tools wisely. You got to ask for mentors and people to help you. You know, listen, a lot of people, you know, they want their family to be good, but they don't bring them up in an environment that's healthy. You know, my son, he doesn't lack for anything. I didn't say he got everything, but he don't lack for anything. He's a very good kid, so he deserves good things. And I'm really grateful that he's in my life. You know, and I'll tell you what, I'm very grateful for my family because I got people in my life, you know, that, you know, I wouldn't want to call them haters, but sometimes they say stuff that hurts your feelings, and then you reciprocate, you give it back to them. So I've got to be real careful, you know, about the things that I say to my family and to my son, because you know what, to thine own self be true. And sometimes I say stuff that are very hurtful, but after a while, you know, you just got to ask yourself, did I do the right thing? You know what, I believe that if you take care of your family and your children, you're going to do good. They're going to be there in a time when you need them. At least you hope so. And if they're not, they didn't really care anyway. So important is this. Our subject for today is how to work in selling and have a family and how to make it work. If you got a significant other, you're doing pretty good. That means you got somebody who can help you to do what you need to do. I've been a single parent for a long time. That was my choice. And I've had to deal with all the scenarios, the business, the doctors, everything, the bills, everything was on my shoulders. But I accepted that because I'm a man. I'm a salesman. And the reality is, if you love your family, you're going to step up. I didn't say it was going to be easy. Sometimes it's really, really hard to deal with people that have been in your lives, significant others. But don't ever disrespect them. Don't ever call them bad names. And a lot of times if you cannot put them down in front of their children. It just makes common sense. Because children, they ain't got nothing to do with the problems with the family, the parents. It ain't got nothing to do with them. What they have to do is enjoy life. And you want to teach them the basics and the fundamentals. You know, I'm doing this a lot. I teach my son about selling, how to have conversations, how to talk to people. And I think it's really doing good because he's real smart. He's better in math and science and things like that than I was. Listen, you know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. We're just having a very simple conversation and talking about how important it is that you are a part of your family's life. Because believe me, they really want you to be there. Sometimes you got to take jobs that you really don't want to have to take because, you know, you think you can make money somewhere else. Well, you know what? It's still a learning experience. So take those things that you got to deal with, those things you got to take care of, and just go with the flow because time will surely pass. So do yourself a favor. Go out there and sell something. But if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. This is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a very simple conversation about family, how important it is to be there for them and what to expect. They really do matter, and you do too. So go out there and sell something. What you got to say, son?
If you guys like this video, please press that big thumbs up and also subscribe if you guys want to see more videos. If there's anything you guys want to see, comment down below what you guys want to see. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.
That's my awesome son. And I'm going to tell you what, family, selling, yeah, it's real good. You got to enjoy the ride, baby. Go out there and sell something and take care of your family because you never know when your family might be taking care of you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.